This matter started out being about shocking elder abuse against Hendra Ibrahim, a vulnerable 79-year-old pensioner who was forced to live in squalor by Bell property agents and abject poverty by Westpac staff. But it's developed into so much more, because while investigating Westpac, we discovered that an AUSTRAC investigation found they were associated with tens of thousands of child SA offences, which enabled hundreds of PD files to destroy thousands of children's lives. But despite that, the NRL still promotes Westpac, and incredibly, Braveheart's child protection charity promotes Westpac as being safe for children. It's sickening, and we'll go through the details throughout the podcast. We met Hendra in August 2021 after he fell over in front of us in Darlinghurst because his shopping bags were too heavy. We helped him home, and myself and another friend have been supporting him since. But this has escalated into so much more than elder abuse against Hendra. It goes all the way up to the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese. It's almost impossible to believe it's all true, but it is, and we have the documents to prove it. At one point, Hendra was held prisoner at the Edgecliff branch by a crazed Westpac employee, and the New South Wales Police Strike Force Raptor failed to respond to a report about a bikie gang member stealing Hendra's pension. We were threatened by Bell Property CEO Peter Hanscombe and also by a subordinate acting on behalf of Westpac CEO Anthony Miller. Westpac staff accused the New South Wales Police of acting negligently in relation to Hendra, but I don't believe them, and it may well be that CEO Anthony Miller and his subordinates are accessories after the fact to criminal activity, or they may have attempted to pervert the course of justice. We'll go through that in later episodes. We've referred Anthony Miller and his subordinates, along with Bell Property CEO Peter Hanscombe, to New South Wales Police Minister Yasmin Catley. She hasn't done anything yet, but we're sure she will once the shit hits the fan. This all sounds incredible, right? But it's just the tip of a monumental iceberg. While investigating Westpac, we discovered that in 2020 they were fined a record $1.3 billion after an AUSTRAC investigation found they were associated with tens of thousands of child SA offences, which enabled hundreds of PD files to destroy thousands of children's lives. Now, in my mind, there's no difference between a person who commits child SA or an organisation that enables child SA. They're both as guilty as the other. So with that in mind, would you promote Westpac as being safe for children? Well, we discovered that's exactly what Braveheart's child protection charity does. They promote Westpac as safer children, safer communities, which is mind-boggling. But it gets even worse, because at the same time as Bravehearts promotes Westpac as being safe for children, an article on their website claims to have cut ties with Westpac after accusing them of being associated with over 3,000 child SA offences, although figures show the actual number was more like 65,000. And incredibly, when we contacted Braveheart's founder Hetty Johnston, she threatened us to try and stop us from investigating and exposing this. And when we contacted Braveheart's CEO Alison Gill, she falsely claimed that the Westpac tagline, "Safer Children, Safer Communities," wasn't supported by Bravehearts, which is bullshit because it's promoted on their website. Queensland Governor Jeanette Young is Braveheart's patron-in-chief. We asked CEO Alison Gill whether the Governor was aware that Bravehearts was promoting Westpac as being safe for children, and Gill said she was. But even if she doesn't know, it doesn't matter, because the governorship is a public position. It's not hers, and she has no right whatsoever to use it to support Bravehearts when they're promoting Westpac. It's wrong on every level. She should have done her due diligence, and she should be sacked. Brisbane Broncos chair Carl Morris is Braveheart's national vice patron. He should have done his due diligence as well, and so should have all the other high-profile ambassadors. We've taken a video which shows every ambassador, which we'll play in a later episode. It's an absolute shit show, right? But it gets worse, because Westpac is a major partner of the NRL, and every week Channel 9 and Foxtel are promoting Westpac to mums and dads and NRL fans. The Westpac logo is actually on the footballs, and the commentators promote Westpac throughout the game. I can't imagine anyone thinking that's okay, especially mums and dads. It's sickening that Peter V'landys has allowed the NRL to promote Westpac after they enabled hundreds of PD files to destroy thousands of children's lives. Those children's lives may not matter to Peter V'landys, but they do matter, and in my mind, there's nothing he can say to justify this, and V'landys should be sacked immediately. And what about Anthony Albanese? His government granted $600 million of taxpayers' money to the NRL for a Papua New Guinea team. How do you feel about that money coming out of your pocket? And since it's coming out of your pocket, how do you feel about being forced to promote Westpac? Albanese should have been aware of Westpac's record $1.3 billion fine, since it was all over the media. Or perhaps he is aware, and he just doesn't care about the thousands of children's lives that were destroyed. It's wrong on so many levels, and Albanese should also be held to account. Watch the podcast where we go into greater detail about what happened. We've kept the episode short so you can watch it in bite-sized chunks. And at the end, we've mentioned our campaign for the criminal prosecution of NACC Commissioner Paul Brereton, who was found guilty of misconduct during the NACC's Robodebt investigation. But incredibly, he wasn't prosecuted. With the help of a retired barrister, Justice Matters has spent the past 6 months putting things in place to ensure there's no statute of limitations, so Brereton can be prosecuted any time, even years from now. And we won't give up until he is.